Have you noticed that when God puts a dream in your heart, it doesn't go away? You can keep trying to push it down, to bury it, to dismiss it, let it go, but it just won't go away. Well, hello, beautiful people, and welcome. My name is Regina Longo. I'm a transformational empowerment coach, motivational speaker, and yoga teacher. Welcome to my podcast, Alive and Awaken. In today's episode, I wanted to talk with you about the guiding light within you. We're all faced and in situations where we don't know how it's all going to work out. And that's where the true test is. The test comes when we don't have the answers, when we don't see it or feel it making logical sense. And thoughts might come in, what if I don't make it? And the more we try to reason it out, the further we actually push ourselves away from the solution. So a solution is always there for us because God, the universe, omnipresent, is all loving, all giving, all of the time, not just once in a while. So the solution exists actually before we even are faced with a problem or a difficulty. And that's where faith comes in. I don't know if many of you have experienced, but this past week, I for sure have experienced the massive wave of high frequency energy coming into our systems, our bodies, our containers, and the planetary system at this time now. The gates seem like they've opened, like floodgates have opened, and the energy of creation has enabled us to support this new calibrated energy, this higher frequency, this higher vibration of ascension, and take us, each and every one of us, not just some of us, all of us, to a deeper and higher level. And as always, with such high frequencies and vibrations coming in, our bodies, our human bodies, become more tired. They can't deal with such changes, such on a quick, rapid level, which means a lot of rest, which means a lot of taking care of the physical body, eating right, eating light foods, drinking lots of water, and listening to what our bodies need and feel at this present time. Following your light doesn't mean going like halfway with your dreams, and then when things become difficult or challenging, turn back and turn around and go back to what you know, the status quo or mediocrity. It's all about following your inner light is how you're communicating with your internal environment. And then your internal environment actually mimics, mirrors, or matches your external environment. When we choose to turn back to that mediocrity, to our comfort zone, to the status quo, the ones that follow their light, their dream, that stay committed, the following of the light within their inner guidance from the internal environment. Well, the funny thing about it all is whether you choose to follow the guiding light within or you choose to turn back, it's the same distance either way. You're traveling the same distance. You're going halfway, but yet you're turning back to what you knew. Or you're going halfway and then you're moving through. Yeah, it's going to be a little difficult, but the way we communicate with one another affects every relationship in our lives. But how about the way we communicate with ourselves? My question is, are you committed to the guiding light within you? Are you operating from your spiritual principle, the absolute highest and higher consciousness version of you? We may not be where we want to be, but we're certainly not where we used to be. And isn't that what the new world has shown us now? Nothing is the same the way it used to be. Well, it's the same thing that got you here today. We can't keep doing what we've done before and think that it's going to work out the same. That's not how God and the universe operates, actually. God and the universe does not operate on logical, practical experience. Like, in other words, it's not cookie cutter whatsoever. As I mentioned, you have to be willing to operate from spiritual principle. So you get to ask yourself, am I going to turn back when things get difficult and seem challenging? Am I going to bury my dreams? Or am I going to walk through? Walk through, like I mentioned earlier, like these gates have opened, these floodgates have opened, and you have to be willing to turn your faucet on, your inner faucet. When you stay consistent, when you stay calibrated to the light within, it ends up being a double blessing. When you reach that halfway mark and you keep going, it's a double blessing. Like the blessings happen like one after the other. It's called divine timing. There's new relationships, there's new clients, there's new experiences, new dreams. There has to be a stubbornness within you of this new frequency, this new calling, the guiding light within, and where you choose to stay committed. That's when the breakthrough happens. That's what I'm talking about, when the double blessings start to show up. You show up, you flow with ease. That's the divine timing. The light, the divine, is where the miracles show up. And they start showing up one after another after another. It may take longer than you thought, but God, the omnipresent, your guiding light, knows what's best for you. Just stay committed to your dream. God has it in your heart for a reason. The setbacks, the delays, the detours are all a part of the process. They're part of the test. Don't allow them to cause you to give up on your dreams and go back once you've reached that halfway point. This new life design, this new way of being has a higher frequency to it. It's not operating from the logical third dimensional way of being. Have you noticed that when God puts a dream in your heart, it doesn't go away? You can keep trying to push it down, to bury it, to dismiss it, let it go, but it just won't go away. So you have to be a yes. You have to give yourself permission to your guiding light, the guiding light within, and receive it. You have to get great at receiving. It's all coming together. The question is, do you trust it? If each and every one of us were given all the blessings that are coming our way, if we knew everything that was coming and we were given it all at once, we wouldn't know how to handle it. You have to stay within spiritual principle and trust the guiding light within. Everything isn't always as it seems on the surface level. You have to be willing to dig deep, and digging deep where your dreams are is going to take all the capacity that's inside of you. And you have to show up and be a yes and anchor in and give it the attention. And then ask to be guided by your inner light. You have the capacity. You have to use your entire capacity to fulfill your divine assignment, your purpose, to what you've been called to do. I'm asking you today to go within and to consult with your guiding light and to be led by God's source. The communication, the way you're talking internally to self. You might not say it out loud. It might just be on that internal environment. But it's actually either empowering or disempowering you. The more you function from the core belief that everyone, including you, everyone's perspective, everyone matters. You have to explore the powerful solutions from a place of love and move yourself energetically into calibration, into resonance, into alliance with spirit, with yourself, and with others. And then the less you'll have that disempowerment or that fear or that worthlessness, the doubt that we tend to carry, that we were taught. I mean, we were taught in school things to just pass a test. But this real guiding light within is a self-study. And you need to become a great listener. Not just to be taught to pass tests. Your inner voice is the guiding light within you. That is the real teacher. When you listen and listen deeply, when you lean in deeply, you become a great miracle, not only for your life, but the lives of others. Your guiding light is equipped, not just from your dreams and desires, but from God, the omnipresent, the divine. The question is, are you listening? Are you being a student of your life? Because not only do you need, your humanness need you to guide you, to carry you, to fulfill your purpose, but others need you. You see, the pandemic, what God did was shut everything down so we could adapt to our environment, our internal environment. It taught us what it is that we really need and what it is that we don't need. There's been so much shedding and letting go. And the word let means to allow. You have to allow yourself to let go of the things that you no longer need. We used to be selfish, but now we've understand this newer frequency, this higher vibration is a selflessness way of being. As I mentioned, you have to dig deep, go within and listen and become such a great listener because your guiding light is there for each and every one of you. It's now a new understanding. It's about where we used to be and where we used to put all of the energy. We used to waste so much time worrying about what other people thought and what they wanted for our lives. We wasted so much energy. You can't live in the trauma of the job loss. You can't live in the trauma and the drama of the loss of a relationship or even a divorce or the downsizing of companies. Your path, your destiny is not tied to what you had. Your path, your calling, your purpose is tied to what you have left within you, the light within you. You can't stay stuck in the trauma. You have to trust your guiding light, the teacher within, and be the student within, the great listener. Your lifetime is an opportunity. It's a platform, just like this platform that I'm sharing with you on. It's a platform for how to overcome the worry and the fear. The question is, are you listening? You have to shatter that glass ceiling and really shatter the disbeliefs and let go and turn back into faith, that internal environment. How are you communicating with yourself? The sweet talker, ghosting self? Get back into the real version of yourself. It's the new beginning to create what you're called to do. Your guiding light, it's in you, not of you. Hone in on the skills, like I said. That's where your path is. The skills that you were left with, not what you had. Hone in on your skills so that what you desire and dream of won't be lost. It won't be buried anymore. You have to keep passing your light. It's passing the test, not passing the test to graduate from school and get a diploma, but keep passing the test and graduate to the next level of your life. That's where your light is. That's where grace is. Your next level is not of the past. Your legacy is about who you're becoming in the next level of your life. It's about who needs you, your love, your support, your wisdom, and so on. There are people, there are experiences that need you. The wave of life is going to keep beating us. That's what it is when you chose to come here. When you chose to come into human form, to be a spiritual being and have a human experience, your humanness are going to be hit with waves of life. It's going to try to beat you down, shake you up. And at that time, that's where you're going to wonder, like, where's the divine now? Where's God now? We've never before in our lifetimes have seen or experienced anything like this before, this pandemic, the shutting down of things. But I'm here to remind you that in the midst of all this change, all this trauma, that light is still flickering within you. You know, I've heard it said so many times before, and I might have even shared it with you before. A ship could be out there, a boat out there in the vast ocean, right? But a ship will not sink because of the water that's around it. The ship only sinks when you allow, when you let the water around you get on the internal environment, get on the inside. I hope this helped. Wherever you're next, wherever you're meant to go next, your next level, don't bring the old with you to where the winds of grace are leading you and taking you. Trust your guiding light, friends. You're coming out of this, each and every one of this. We're coming out of this better, more defined, enlightened, empowered, and inspired. It's faith over fear, my friends. You have to listen and be willing to share the guiding light within. You're not lost. God's not lost. You don't have to search for the missing pieces. You just have to go within and follow your guiding light. Stop focusing on the way things used to be. The world, planet Earth, is the planet of contrast. Contrast is a gift. You have to see the contrast, the light and the dark, to show you what it is you don't want. It's an opportunity to mix up your psychology of your humanness, how we used to think and how we still do think in our human experiences with our 5 human senses. But mix up the psychology. Start to see with your heart, hear with your eyes, feel with your ears, harness into this new space, start to feel, start to be, and start to trust from within. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. There are going to be challenging times, but you have to do your part. When you do your part and you keep following the steps, the miracles that are showing up, the divine timing, the divine touch that are there for you, one after another, the flow, the ease of it, that's when the omnipresent, that's when God and the universe show up and do its part. It's been great speaking with you today. I love each and every one of you. Until next time, thank you so much. Have a beautiful day.